Let's dive into the mailbag this week. Hey guys, love the dungeon crawl. I'm starting all the way from the beginning. I've been playing D&D off and on since 4th edition. My favorite class of all time is Bard. Is there any class that can have as much fun as Bards do from your guys' past experience?
Bards are fun. The thing about bards is you're kind of encouraged to do performative things and think outside the box and be weird. And I think that a lot of people take that as, an excuse to sing and dance, or in Rodrigo's case, when he played a bard, to tell awesome, folk tale type stories. I really didn't have fun so much playing a paladin, but I can see where a paladin is a very fun character to play in the right sort of round. And I've had people play paladins and say they're great, they're awesome, they're totally, totally fun.
Rodrigo, what about you?
Yeah, I think when it gets into stats and everything, I think any class can be a lot of fun, right? If you are into what fighters can do, or into what wizards can do, you can have a lot of fun there. But Matthew's right in that bards come in with this kind of written or unwritten contract that they're supposed to perform because they're playing performers. This is something that Dungeons and Dragons doesn't always, or rather always does, but in very weird corners. It's like you expect your druid to be some sort of witch or wise person or something like that, and you expect a shaman to be like that. You expect a wizard to be very knowledgeable. And for example, that's what Stephen has always done with Orem, right? Somebody who is highly educated and gets to be a jerk because those bona fides are written into his stats.
Right.
It's you don't get to be a wizard without study, and you don't get to, which means you get to lord that over other people. So I'd say any class that you walk into, except maybe for fighter, has these sort of pre-written scripts that you can play into. Some of them are pitfalls, like Rogue. A lot of people go in and I'm a playing a criminal, and then just screw themselves over and the party. So you got to be careful about that. But yeah, every class has something like that sort of baked into it, because D&D is really weird about what constitutes a class.
Right.
So, you can have a lot of fun with all of that.
Okay, there you go. Thank you for writing in. And if you have a question, listener, just send it to podcast@majorspoilers.com, and we will hit you up in a future mailbag. Welcome to Critical Hit, a Major Spoilers podcast. Thank you for downloading, and thank you for sharing this episode with a friend. Oh my gosh.
What just happened?
Oh my gosh. It's been a week. Something surely has happened in that great whiteness in a week. Rodrigo.
Yeah, everybody's retinas are burnt out.
Yeah. Well, except for Worms.
Orm still has retinas.
No.
Doesn't have pupils.
No.
His eye anatomy is entirely alien.
Entirely different than humans.
Something else entirely.
So, Rodrigo, what happens next? Who lives? Who dies this week?
You decide.
Critical Hit.
knows?
Yes.
So yeah, last time
On Critical Hit.
That's critical hit.
There was a last ditch attempt to get this machine sort of under control. The Orm, Sakar, Ket, Randus, and Little Sparkle made it into the machine. But the rats had to scatter out. The Tekiotl, aka Aluche, aka that lying bastard, was nowhere to be found, and the Queen's rebellious daughter Adlek apparently willingly stayed out of the machine. So everything got really bright and really loud, and as you might expect, our heroes lost consciousness. Only to eventually wake up in a strange place. The 5 characters find themselves in a stone building. It is a bluish stone, and you are resting on these kind of like big stone slabs made of the same blue stone. There is a sheet like underneath each of you, so you're not like resting directly on the stone. And you all wake up roughly at the same time.
Blah.
One
Where are
quick detail. Oram has a black stone in the center of his forehead. And also his eyes are entirely black.
Now, is this stone like embedded in my head, or is it just sitting on my head?
It's just embedded in your head.
Okay.
It's like up against it, and when you straighten up, it doesn't fall off.
Okay.
Does it look like the dream speakers had?
The dream quills, no.
Oh no, didn't
Sky Talkers?
the Sky Talkers.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
I'm guessing we're not on our Virtus anymore.
What are you guys looking at?
You.
Feel your forehead.
Ah,
Can
What?
you see okay?
I can see fine.
So I think we can safely say this is a vertices we haven't been to before.
Yep.
I
Good. We
guess.
can track our progress by what happens to Orem.
Well, hopefully we don't hit one of those without some sort of Feywild contingent.
Yeah. You say that like we have any way to get from this Virtus to another one.
I think I'll have to work on that.
Find the agent.
Yeah.
They don't want us here, so.
Can we tell anything about the room? Or that?
Yeah, it is a large room. It's made out of blue stone. It does have some carvings, and it is this building appears to be in serious disrepair. You would not be wrong in maybe saying that you are in a ruined structure, although the walls are cracked and some of the pillars holding up the ceiling are cracked, but the room is complete, but it's clearly seen better days. There are some stuff carved into the wall. There appear to be some, at least so far, unintelligible sigils. Just sort of as like wainscoting.
I'm going to attempt to talk to Sparkle and Orem in my head.
You cannot.
Okay.
Nice
So
try.
we've been out for at least 8 hours.
Right. I'm guessing we're on the corpse, since that's what the Deva thought that they were opening a portal to.
Nah, maybe. Is there a doorway out of here?
Guy,
What?
you alive?
But
Alright. Do what you need to do.
okay. Yes, there is one obvious exit.
All right.
It's just an archway. It doesn't actually have a door or anything.
All right.
Shall we venture out and see?
Yeah.
Yep.
What's
When you guys stand up, you see that you are wearing what you normally wear, but your gear the gear for each of you has been placed on the side of your slab, like neatly placed there.
Oh, so someone found us?
I figured that was evident by the slabs.
Mm.
I don't know. I hadn't thought that through. Okay. Well, at least the natives are, friendly enough that they took care of us, as opposed to, slitting our throats and taking our stuff.
Always a plus.
Uh-huh.
Let's thank our host.
Or hosts.
Hello?
A creature walks through the door. It is very tall, very thin and lean. It is humanoid. It has blue skin that seems to maybe glow faintly. It has long, slender fingers, and its feet are sort of these digitigrade feet. Basically, it walks on its toes. It has a slender neck that ends in a round head with a large red central eye. And is otherwise featureless, so it doesn't have like any obvious nostrils or mouth. Just a big sort of red, like red orb for an eye. Like it's not like it's it's not like it needs Visine. It's just like that's the color of its eye. Kind of like Orum's normally blue-green eyes or current black solid eyeballs.
Black solid eyeballs.
Solid black.
Yep.
And it doesn't look like anything any of us might have seen before.
It's not. It doesn't look directly like anything you guys have seen before. Some of you might find its shape familiar, but we can get into that later. It walks into the room, and in your heads, you all hear, "Oh, good, you're awake."
Yes, thank you for taking care of us.
How long were we out?
I'm not sure. Maybe an hour or so.
Hmm.
Who are you?
I am a friend of yours.
Oh.
I mean, I am now that we have met.
Ah,
You can call me friend.
Hello, friend.
I am one of the Ebilu.
And who would be the Ebilu?
We are creatures that had to flee our world.
I see.
So we now live here with our protector.
Who's your protector?
Our protector is someone you know. He said that you would come, and here you are.
Huh.
Can we meet him or her?
Yes.
Yes, he is eager to speak to you.
All right. Yeah. I'd be happy to.
Very well, follow me.
All right. I'll follow.
As will I.
I'll grab my gear.
Yep. I assume everybody gears up.
Yep.
Yep.
Yes, yes.
So you guys follow friend, and it leads you out of the room that you're in, down a hallway, and into a large courtyard with other buildings. And these are ruins, basically, like the ruins of some ancient city. more of the same sigils that you saw inside. There are probably the most striking thing here are these big sort of these big poles, and at the very top, these like very monstrous cat faces. And sometimes the poles are carved to be sort of bodies where they're like clutching their bodies. Although it's not like an actual figure of a body, it's just like a carving in this column that evokes that sense. But some of them don't have them at all. Some of them just have more sort of sigils running down them. Friend walks you past a couple buildings which seem to have more Ebilu in them, who they all like poke their heads out with their blue skin and big red eyeballs. They seem peaceful, like they're not, freaked out by you. It's hard to read their expressions, obviously, but from their body language, they don't seem to be bothered by you. Friend and the rest of them have a very sort of long, gentle gait, like they kind of like bob up and down as they walk. And like with a little bit of a crouch and like the legs the way that they are, you'd figure if they were like fully extended, these guys are probably like a full like maybe 9 feet tall. But as it is, they kind of bob between like a tall 6 and short 8. You guys follow this one to the largest building here, which is also in ruins, but it's in structurally it's in okay shape. Some of the buildings you walk past are basically just like if you ever go to ruins and you just can only see the floor plan of the building.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You walk past a couple of those, but this one is in good shape. It's like a big rectangular prism. It's got some kind of ornamental columns in the corners. It's got some more of these like scary cat heads around. And as you get to the portal of the building, friend says, let me tell him that you are here. And he walks in, or it walks in, because it's also hard to tell if there's any sort of like gender or sex marker between these guys.
Right.
Comes back out, and it says, follow me.
Okay, we
Okay.
will.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you guys walk in and walk past a little foyer, up some stairs, and into what appears to be a main chamber which itself is kind of like a throne room, just kind of like a big open area with a dais and a chair. And sitting on the chair with a couple of Ebilu around him is a creature. This creature, some of you have seen before, and some of you have not. But you all immediately recognize him. You all immediately know his name, and to a certain degree, his deal. This is what he looks like now, though. He is largely humanoid, except that he is very tall, maybe 8 feet tall, has 20 fingers on each hand, although it's hard to tell exactly how many fingers he has at a given point. He is wearing a thick coat, which at first seems to be fur-lined, but on second thought, maybe it's just fur coming out from underneath the coat. He is also wearing an apron, sort of like a silversmith or a blacksmith might wear. Has a large head with 4 eyes, 2 facing forward the way that they normally would, but 2 more at the temple. A strong nose and a mouth that opens or goes too far, basically, not just to the beginning of the cheeks, but actually follows the entire jawline, and giving him a kind of a scary smile. He's also wearing a bandana. You guys look at him, and again, either having seen it before and not seeing the shape before, or having never seen him before, you know what this creature is. You know his name. He is called the thing that shatters the sky. And there is a fundamental wrongness about him. Like, it just makes your skin crawl, makes you very aware of like the inside of your nails or where your hair or feathers connect to your body. Just very strange to be in this thing's presence. It holds out one of its hands towards you and says, "Welcome."
Hi.
Hello.
Where are we?
You are in a different world. I believe those little gray beings call it the corpse. Oh, don't be shy. Step up. And he like walks down from his dais towards you guys.
Sparkle steps back.
Don't worry. I mean you no harm. When it talks, it kind of sounds like 3 people are talking at once. There's just like a low, raspy voice, a kind of like actually fairly pleasant male voice, and a like kind of like grating, high-pitched voice as well.
I thought you two took care of this.
Well, I mean,
We did
we
too.
took care of it from our side.
Yes. I suppose the reports of my death were in fact exaggerated. It is a difficult thing killing God, which, by the way, I am over.
That's good.
So
This
you
is-
need not fear retribution from me.
Okay.
Why are you here?
Well, that is in large part due to your friends. And he motions with one hand each at Oram and Randus. Although this one had something to do with it too, and he points at Cat. When I first met this group, I had a plan to eject my lunar brethren onto the prime material plane and become the sole ruler of the moon. Your group did not agree with that, and so we fought. I had only just manifested in a corporeal form, so I was very weak, and I was physically destroyed. My essence floating freely through the universe without much to do, yet still tethered to the greater entity that I was tied to. Much later, my family, as it were, became a bigger problem for your astral sea. And it was in fact you who drew them back into the void and attempted to harm them with an explosive of particular design. Yes?
Yeah.
Sure.
Sounds familiar.
Right. That explosive had the additional effect of severing my connection to to the greater entity that I was tied to. Of course, at the cost of the death of my sister. But such things happen. Perhaps the greatest gift she has ever given me. So my essence floated freely for a long time until I found this place.
What is this place?
This is a vertex that has died, or at least mostly died. It is barren and devoid of life except for these strange creatures I found here in motions of the Emilu. They were created on the moon, on your moon, by other lunar gods, but they left. They found their way here, and they've been waiting here, eking out an existence for a long time. So, once I was able to coalesce, I offered my protection to them, and we have been here ever since.
How did you know we would come here?
Well, time works differently for us. I already knew the first time I met Orem and Randus that we would meet again. So I assumed it was just a matter of time.
So what do you want?
Ah, yes. What do I want? Well, I find that as the first few times we met, our interests have once again aligned. I have finally gotten myself a place that I can rule and watch over. And you, although you might not know it yet, are in need of something from me.
What would that be?
I'll tell you.
I assume transportation off this Virtus.
Oh, I am willing to give you that for no exchange, because it suits my purposes, of course. And he motions to one of the Ebilu, who bring a little box, like a box that's, could, maybe like, well, maybe not that little. It's like maybe like a 10 by 10 box, like a little case, like a little jewelry box type thing.
Okay.
The Ebilu walks it over and hands it to, we'll say, Orem.
I take it.
Okay.
Does my cool rock give me powers to see through the box?
It does not.
Oh, darn. This Vertex sucks. And what is in the box?
In the box is what appears to be a blue, pudgy starfish.
And what is this?
A weapon of sorts. It is, although it needs to be attached to an actual weapon. It is a means to do what you could not before. A way to kill a god.
I see.
Should you manage to slay a deity with a weapon that has this on it, their essence will be destroyed and sent here to me.
I see. And why would we kill a god?
I think you will find a need to eventually. But
Don't look at me.
assuming you don't, there's no pressure. All you have to do is take this with you.
And what weapon does this attach to?
Any weapon.
Does this thing have a name?
We haven't given it one.
Okay.
You know, you get into a development cycle, you have working titles, but nothing specific. It looks kind of like a starfish, though.
Yes.
Is it aware?
No, it is not alive.
Why do you want a god over here?
I don't want a god over here. I want their energy. I can use it to restore life to this world.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What
To this
sort of
world
life?
or to this entire vertex? This entire...
Well, that's what I
plane?
meant. To this plane.
Okay.
You want to do that so you have more subjects to rule over.
And so that I can provide for my subjects.
Is there a particular god you have in mind?
No. But I'm sure you do.
Let's work on any of your siblings as well.
It might, if you could get to them, but from what I understand, you did an excellent job sealing them away.
That's
Well,
good.
thank you. Hey, take a compliment where you can.
We did at least one thing right.
Yeah. Small high five between Randus and Orm.
Clank.
And what if we don't want to kill a god?
All you have to do is take it.
So we take this
Blue starfish.
fleshy blue thing,
Mm-hmm.
attach it to some weapon,
Mhm.
presumably, and kill a god with it.
Mm-hmm.
But the only part of this deal that actually is required is us taking this back to our Virtus.
That's right.
Does it do anything else besides provide a conduit to divine energy?
It allows you to kill a god.
So if we take this back to our world is not suddenly just going to vanish.
No, why would it do that?
I don't know. You're, the thing that shatters the sky.
That I am.
Yes.
But no. If you recall, I have always been honest with you.
And so you've foreseen that if we bring it back to our world, we will kill a god.
Foreseen is, let's say yes. Or no.
Conjectured.
You
It's-
see and have seen.
Yes, I have been there when it happens, but it
I've
doesn't
seen.
necessarily mean it's going to play out exactly that way as it happens. It's complicated.
Have you had any other contact with our plane recently?
No, not since the episode.
And we've only been here for a little over an hour.
We found you a little over an hour.
You don't know how long we've been on this Virtus?
I'm not sure, but I don't think it has been that long. Looking past you, I don't see it had been all that long. By the way, you have had some interesting adventures.
Sure. We have.
He does, like,
Yeah.
every once in a while, like, weirdly, like, turn his head like he's looking over your shoulder. Like, he does that for each of you at some point during the conversation.
Is there anything behind us?
Nope.
I think you might actually be a fan of your pods of casting.
Maybe.
We finally found one.
Well,
No,
glad.
let's say I have VIP access. I get to see it as it happens.
okay.
Check your shadows.
Well,
Where-
we would love for these adventures to continue.
Mhm.
Where will you send us?
I can send you back exactly where you were. The Ebilu are actually very good with dimensional transportation. They just don't do it because they came here escaping and they don't want to go back.
What were they running from?
His kind.
Mm-hmm.
And what used to live here?
This is the dead one, isn't it? So that would be the Rakshas?
The Rakshasa?
Mm-hmm. I think so. But they were long gone when we arrived.
Then no one else has come through here?
Oh, those creatures come by every once in a while.
The Rakshasa?
They have been through here. No, the other ones.
The Deva.
Oh.
But we have hid from them.
I see.
How do you plan on hiding from them after we've killed your god?
No, then we might not have to.
And if we were to tell the Deva that you're here?
You can.
Will you continue to hide if they know you're here, or will you fight them?
I'm not sure.
Can this kill more than one god?
Yes, this thing enables a weapon to kill a god. Each god can be killed in a particular way, but unless those conditions are met, they will simply reform or float around as I did. If a weapon with this starfish strikes the final blow, then the god will be torn asunder and broken into its individual energies and sent here for me to play with.
What about Fae?
You mean the creatures from the Feywild?
The greater ones.
They are not gods.
Would it still tear apart their energy and send it here?
I do not know.
I have reason to find out.
I will say, though, this is fairly new. A fairly new advancement. I would recommend keeping it to its intended use.
And you invented this?
The Ebilu did.
Really?
They are powerful builders and great magicians.
And what do we get for bringing this thing back with us?
I suppose you get a trip back and the knowledge that, should you need to, you can kill a god.
So if we don't take this, you won't send us back.
Correct.
But you've seen or been present for what you believe is going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean that it will.
Not exactly. It's
So I thought
difficult
you
to
said
explain.
you'd send us back just because you don't want us here.
Oh, this place is vast. I wouldn't have to see you if you stayed here.
And I doubt we'd last long.
Not much to eat here. I will say that.
It would be difficult.
If it means getting back, I'll take the starfish.
Yeah.
Very well. We'll take this.
Can we take a closer look at it first?
By all means.
Thank you.
What do we hope to learn from it?
Looks like a spongy starfish.
Mm-hmm.
Use your fucking magic. Guy,
What?
are you awake enough to take a look at this thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will perform an Arcana check on it as well.
I will
Okay.
perform a nature check on it. Aha!
Okay.
Oh, look, a nat 20, finally, something.
Nice.
Nice.
I got 34.
It's pretty good.
I got a nat 1.
Yeah.
That's about right.
Sakar tries to eat it.
And here in 3 rolls, like basically the average has worked out. Let's see. Oram can tell that this is, in fact, a powerful magical item, but can't really glean much more. Like, can't really get, from an immediate inspection how it works. Guy seems very nervous about it, but he says that he doesn't really know how it would work.
I'm less looking for how it works and more making sure it's not going to blow up in our face the second we leave this plane.
It seems stable.
All right.
I don't know.
You can go back to resting.
And Sakar, Sakar is just very distracted by the fact that it looks like a starfish, so he's not really getting much from it.
I wonder if it regenerates.
I wonder if you regenerate. Oh.
I close up the box.
Okay.
Put it in my handy haversack.
All right.
Yes, we don't have much of a choice.
I don't see how we do at this point.
Well, he didn't say we had to use it. He simply said we had to take it to take advantage of exit.
Doesn't look like it's going to blow up our plane.
It does not.
Good enough for me then.
I suppose.
You can send us back basically anywhere on the plane, right?
I can.
Can you send us to other vertexes?
I could. That would take longer.
Why?
And it's vertices.
Oh, vertices. Sorry.
Where
Why
are
would
you
we want to
wanting
go
to
to a
go?
different vertex?
Go to...
He misses his muscles.
No. Go to Oversight.
Yeah.
Oversight? Was Oversight on a Vertus?
I thought they were
No,
extra
it's on.
vertical.
It's between them.
Extra vertical.
What? That's what it would be,
I know.
extra vertical.
It just amuses me.
I will say if we did end up sending you away, the Evolu told me we would have to adjust that jewel on your head.
Oh. Okay.
Why is there a jewel on his head?
Because there's no Feywild here, so when we found him, he was mostly dead. We had to reconstitute him and basically plug him.
Okay. Good to know. So where are we going to go back to?
Where we were?
I don't want to go exactly where we were.
Then maybe back to the pass where it was relatively safe.
Well, when they said that the explosion or that the device could take out the installation, did they mean the building or
Yeah.
the entire compound?
That building we were in.
Did we ever confirm that?
Well, we were there
You
when the thing
did. The
exploded.
best case scenario was taking out only the building.
So perhaps even a bit further down the trail.
Or back to where the ship is at.
Oh, back to Monster Town?
Yeah.
That's reasonable.
Well, unless you're concerned about anybody who was back there.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
I do.
yes. So why don't we try to go back to Bloodletter's Pass? That's close enough that we can get back to Mabaa and Teach and find out what happened to them. But hopefully far enough that it'll be outside of the blast radius.
Okay.
What was the was Bloodletter's Pass where we stayed like right beforehand, or?
Yeah, Bloodletter's Pass is not far from New Mawakal.
Okay.
How far is Bloodletter's Pass from the installation?
I want to say a few days travel.
That'll work.
Sounds good.
One of us had a map of the island, didn't we? Or the continent?
I do.
Okay.
You all do.
Oh, yeah.
We each have our own map?
Well, it's in
Oh
our.
yeah, you mean in character? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
There it is.
Sparkle has one in character.
Yeah, I know we have one to actually look at.
Sure.
I didn't know if Ket would have actually picked up a map of the place because of his obsession with maps.
Wow. Pinging doesn't work on images.
But yeah, basically, grab one of the maps and point out the general location where we want the Ebilu to send us.
All right.
Or have Sparkle do it since she's going to be familiar with it at least.
Sure.
So, can I answer any more questions while you're here?
Why do you want to have a place to protect?
Not to get too into it, but lunar deities are composed of other lunar deities, and we define each other in specific ways. The void, nothingness, requires 5 creatures to define it. And those creatures are vast, so they require other creatures to define them. And part of what I did was being a stabilizing form, which I found greatly frustrating since lunar gods are mostly a chaotic group, as it were. So I want to impose order, and I want to have my own place to do it.
I don't know. What do you see in our future?
I can tell you what I see immediately in your future. We send you back hopefully soon, so you're not late. And then you are exactly at the right place and the right time for an invitation.
Okay.
An invitation to what?
That I'm not sure about. You would have to ask the ones doing the inviting.
Shall
And
we?
you don't have any plans to leave this Virtus?
No, why would I? This is everything I've ever wanted.
Okay.
Your friends know. They've known me for a long time.
Hmm.
How do I know your name just by seeing you?
Because I am true and I am constant.
And how would you treat these subjects if you had them?
As long as they worship me and treated each other in the orderly way, I will treat them just fine.
Would they be allowed free will?
Insofar as any subject is allowed free will.
Hmm.
You are royalty. You know.
Indeed.
What were the effects of the gate that was being opened from our Virtus to this one?
I do not know. I do not know what the effects were on your side. Here, it did nothing. Except bring you here, and some pieces of debris as well.
Well, I guess,
Is there still a monolith here? A megalith?
I believe so.
But you haven't discovered it?
No, but I know it's here. I just haven't had a need to do it. We don't have enough energy here for me to even do anything with it. Plus, I'm afraid if it gets messed with, then those things will come look for it.
The
the
Deva, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oversight. Can we ask you one more thing? An actual task.
Oh, a favor.
Yeah. If you do find the megalith, is that what they were?
Mm-hmm.
If you do find the megalith, Can you dismantle and or destroy it?
We probably will. We have no need for anything that connects us to other places, except for the starfish.
That's whenever they're ready to send us back.
I'm ready to get out of here.
Do we really want to be several days from where we were?
I mean, I'm just worried about the blast radius, but we could go to the place that we camped the night before we led the assault.
My worry is that if this were to turn into a recovery mission, that those days could be time that we might need.
My worry is that depending on how long we were out here, the coil might already be swarming the place.
My hope is simply that we get somewhere clear that we can reach out to everyone who is there with sendings and find a place to regroup. So we could do the town that was a day outside or Bloodletter's Pass, but I don't think actually going back to the installation is a good idea.
I thought Bloodletter's Pass was several days' travel.
Yes, it is,
Yeah.
but that's still reasonable considering that they might have had almost a half a day to get in that direction. My guess is that they would have had gone back the way they came.
Can any of us gauge an approximation based on how much facial hair we have now?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
my facial hair is thick.
Sikar's gleeful Nesmithian sideburns should tell us exactly.
Yeah, well, moss only grows on one side of them, so...
Right. That's clearly a
Therefore,
nature
that
check,
way
so
it's
I'm going to
noticed.
check the nature of my
You can-
sideburns.
I think that would be a heel check.
All right, I'll do a heel check.
I'm just saying, there's three of us
Set
who...
a clock by his 5 o'clock shadow.
Exactly.
There's two of us who keep ourselves...
Immaculate. And was also without facial hair.
Yeah.
Orm has a splendid goatee.
What? When did Orem grow a goatee?
We must have been here a long time.
All of the artists have just gone, what?
It's just
This
evil,
is-
Orem. Don't
This
worry
is
about
evil,
it.
Orem. Yeah, exactly. We've gone through the looking glass.
Well, it's okay because, artists, if you're listening, Sikar is like 7 inches taller than Cat. Okay, I'm done.
How many horns does he have on his tail?
I will kill you. I will kill you and I will hide the body.
Just what I expect from a vampire.
I
feel
will
like
wear your
Sparkle's
skin
feathers
and
are all like
pretend.
standing up on end since we got into this room with this horrible god being.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm ready to go. Pick a spot and let's go.
Bloodletter's Pass?
Bloodletter's Pass.
The thing that shatters the sky walks back to his throne, sits down, and says, "Good luck." And friend comes back and ushers you out of the room.
Okay.
And he looks at the map. Like, okay, we can do that. Are you ready?
Sure.
Oh, very well. There's a bright flash of light, and you find yourselves in some mountains.
How do I look?
Your eyes are green
Great.
or blue.
Depends on what angle you look at them.
Yep. The jewel in Orem's forehead cracks and falls off of his face.
Is it still there, or is it into a million little dust pieces?
No, it's just cracked in half.
All right, I'm going to pocket it.
Okay.
It's part
Just
of me.
in case.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're in a kind of valley type area. It is, in fact, Bloodletter's Pass. It is a clear night. The mountains look nice, and there's just like 1,000 stars in the sky. And as you guys kind of look around and get your bearings, you see someone kind of come around one of the crags sticking out of the mountain. It is a woman. She's wearing a gray cape, which kind of covers the bottom part of her face a little bit. Not like deliberately, just kind of like has, one of those like pull up kind of things. She has long dark hair, which covers one of her eyes. Again, not necessarily in like a very like specific or deliberate way. She's wearing a chain shirt and has a long sword at her side. She's very pale. She walks over to you guys and says, I'm looking for Orem Rivendorn and company.
That's us. Who are you?
My name is Zarza. I am here to extend an invitation from Bahamut himself to a very special event.
Great.
Okay.
Sounds fantastic.
Or terrifying.
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Wait, what?
Bahamut
Yeah, who's that?
beckons.
Kat, you want to fill them in since you know all about these gods and whatnot?
More of an offer we had last time.
Yeah.
Bahamut is one of the Pentatheon. He is their aspect of war.
Justice.
Potato.
War is part of his portfolio, though. We'll explain more once we get there.
What
We
kind
have
of
some
event
things
is
to check
this?
on.
I'm sorry, what?
What kind of event is this?
A funeral.
Who's?
And she points up at the sky, and you see that some of the stars start to move. It appears to be some sort of shape in the sky, which, as it moves, you see as some sort of like winged humanoid, still kind of like in that inky indigo darkness of the sky covered in stars, extends its arms, and after some strange rippling, blood letter passes empty. So, this has been Legacy of Ghosts. I hope you guys had fun. Season over.
Season over.
What?
Oh, okay.
There you go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Swerve!
All right, well, hope you enjoyed that.
Wow.
Come back next week for more fun
Yeah.
on Critical
Or
Hit.
not.
Next time.
Yes. Podcast at Majorspoilers.com, Majorspoilers.com, where you can post your comments. And until next time, here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2016 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.
This podcast is part of the Frog Pants Studios Network. For more information about this and other shows, visit frogpants.com. Audio program so good, it's like you're there.